Okay, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Is the microphone projecting? Not so much. How about if I talk really loud? Does that work? Okay. I don't like microphones. It's a little bit harder. Good morning. My name is Nick Castellanguida. I'm the Deputy County Manager for Collier County, the Chief Operating Officer. I'm the person who gets blamed when things go bad, and Mr. Oaks gets the credit when things go good. So today's going to be a good day. On behalf of the County Manager, I really want to thank you all for coming. I'd like to keep in mind two words as you hear our speakers talk to you. One is systems thinking and one is collaboration as well too, because I think you'll find as the speakers talk and explain a little bit about this project and why we're here, you'll understand how systems work and nothing gets done without collaboration between our partners. That said, I'd like to recognize some of the people that are here. We have from the city, Councilman Pennyman. Thank you. Commissioner Penny Taylor. Yeah. From the university, Dr. Mitch. Yeah. Chairman of Collier Soil and Water, Duke Vasey, will be speaking with us. Thank you. And we also have the Big Cypress Basin Board Administrator, Lisa Keeler, somewhere as well, too. Thank you. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking because you're going to hear so much from some of the folks that are going to come up and explain a little bit about why we're here celebrating with FGCU, this great partnership. But I will tell you, I've been here about 12 years, and as this project came online, it was amazing to see how it changed so much from the time it was conceived till here we are today. It started out as just a partnership project that looked at creating some sort of wetlands and water quality, flood control. We were expanding Goodlet Frank Road, and as it metamorphosized, now you see the Fred Coyle Memorial Park that's here. It's tied into the Greenway, the science that's taking place, the use that it gets from the community. It has truly, established itself as one of the key destinations for Collier County. It has become a key mark for us as well. And you'll hear more about that from our speakers. Before we begin, I'll ask that the Color Guard with Captain Peltz from New Beginnings comes forward and we do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Color Guard, march on the colors.
Up, carry colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward, walk. Center, face.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
1, 2.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color Guard, post the colors.
1, 2. Right, face. Forward, walk.
Let's give a round of applause to Captain Peltz and his team. Thank you. Please take your seats. I'd like to call up first Mr. David Wilkerson, a professional engineer who replaced me as the Department Head of Growth Management that was instrumental working with the group to get this project done. And he's going to provide a little bit of a welcome statement and introduce the rest of our speakers.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Boy, aren't we blessed? I mean, this weather is just phenomenal. So welcome, everyone. I'm really happy to see you here to celebrate this historic event. And one of the gratifying parts of my job is the many partnerships that we enjoy with the City of Naples, the Big Cypress Basin. And through these partnerships, we're really able to accomplish some really incredible projects, such as the one that you're seeing here. And to get the opportunity to partner with FGCU is just a phenomenal success, really. And one of the things, I was talking with Jerry Kurtz, who you're going to hear from, there's Jerry right there, who is our stormwater expert, is that through this partnership, we're really going to have the opportunity to tweak our project here and make it better. And we hope it's really just the first of many. And for me personally, really, this is special because I grew up here in Naples, spent a lot of time in Naples Bay and Gordon River fishing and boating, and to actually be part of a project that makes a difference and improves the water quality for Gordon River and Naples Bay, like I said, is very special to me. And really the cherry on top really is to be able to partner with FGCU and to create a living laboratory here where students can be trained. So thank you for being here, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate our stormwater team here at Collier County, another great project, thank you. I want to thank Connie Dean also. Where is Connie? Somewhere around here. Connie's the one who set up this great event today, and it takes a lot of coordination to do this. And I'd also like to thank my traffic op teams and our Collier County Sheriff's Office for directing traffic out there, and everybody else who helped Connie today. Thank you very much for putting together this event. And so now you're going to get to hear from some real stormwater experts, Jerry Kurtz, who heads up our stormwater team at the county, and then Dr. Mitch from FGCU. So thank you very much again. Appreciate you being here.
Again, thank you so much for being here today. It really means a lot to us, and for your interest in water quality. This is truly a celebration of several things today. It's a celebration of water quality, the Freedom Park, the Gordon River, and the Naples Bay. It's also a celebration of what the Freedom Park does to improve water quality, which, in case you don't know, it's doing a lot, and it's really working very well. And lastly, it's a celebration of a new relationship that is developed between Collier County and Florida Gulf Coast University. And this is most important. The research being conducted here at the park is essential to the long-term sustainability of the park's water quality improvement system. The research is essential to improvement of the water quality of the Gordon River, Naples Bay, and the Gulf of Mexico. These are our sensitive receiving waters. The things that the FGCU students will learn and discover here could be used in other parts of Florida, the United States, and around the world. I think that's pretty exciting. Like the city of Naples, Collier County has recently significantly stepped up our stormwater management programs and efforts. I'm very pleased to say that both the city and the county stormwater management efforts are now truly administered using modern science, watershed health scale goals and initiatives. And this is a perfect example of that. The improvement of the quality of the runoff before it enters the sensitive receiving waters is always the goal. And I remember when FGCU was being planned in the early 90s, there was an emphasis placed on the environment and environmental studies. And fast forward to today, or actually a few years ago, when I heard about FGCU's Everglades Wetland Research Park, located right here in Naples at the Botanical Gardens. And I also heard about Dr. Bill Mitch. And when I learned more about the facility and the research and met some staff and some students, I was just stunned and frankly a little embarrassed that I didn't know Dr. Mitch and what they were working on, and that we weren't working on something together. So we quickly made a move and got things going, and about the same time we really began to look at the man-made marshes here at the park. We knew the marshes were operating well for several years, but we realized that we needed perhaps a more robust long-term management plan. And that was a perfect initiative to engage the university on. So we're here today celebrating the park and the new partnership with the university, and really could not be more pleased. How terrific is that? The wetland systems in this park are providing for research, opportunities for FGCU graduate students and staff. In closing, I want to say that there's a lot going on at the park. In addition to the county stormwater management efforts with the university, and we're mainly focused on the man-made treatment marshes, which are over here on this end. We have the Parks and Recreation Department that take care of all the facilities and the pathways and the open areas and the buildings under the guidance of Nancy Olson and Barry Williams. We have Conservation Collier taking really good care under the guidance of Alex Salicki down at the eastern end of the park with the natural wetlands and their natural beauty. And I got to tell you, if you haven't taken a walk down there, and probably most of you have, it's fantastic. Some of the most beautiful wetlands around. And we also have our hardworking friends at the Road Maintenance Department who are assisting us, the stormwater folks, with whatever needs to be done with the lake behind us on the western end, and some of the heavy lifting that needs to be done with the pumping systems when issues come up in that regard. So I'd like to thank Mr. Travis Gossard, who is our supervisor for the Road Maintenance Department. So together, many sections within the county managing this wonderful park, and just great to be here, and thank you so much everybody for coming.
Before I ask Dr. Mitch to come up, as a master of ceremonies, you can always make one mistake, and this is the one I made. I forgot to recognize Mr. Farmer. David is a friend of mine, and his wife is here today. He's also a board member on the Big Cypress Basin Board, and instrumental in doing this project. Well, he'll let you know about that a little bit. He was also recently re-elected to the Mosquito Control Board, so thank him for that as well, too. My Leadership Collier graduate.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. I'd like to call up Dr. Mitch. As we talked this morning, I didn't realize that this pond and this treatment facility was modeled after a project he'd done at Ohio State as well, too. And I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Sir, come on up.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much, and on behalf of my university, FGCU, and the many students and staff researchers at our Everglades Wetland Research Park, that is housed in Naples, by the way, welcome to Freedom Park. This is potentially one of the great wetland parks in the USA, and I'm going to have to explain that, and I'm going to take a little time explaining what a wetland park is or should be. They are usually water features, ponds, wetlands, small streams, etc., that are created in rather tight urban areas for the benefit of the local population and nature at the same time. Wetland park is a relatively new idea, and I'm told, I don't know, that the idea may have originated from our longtime 50-acre Olentangy River Wetland Research Park that we built on the campus of the Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. And that was in the 1990s. In its heyday, it was the second most popular thing at Ohio State, second only to the football Buckeyes. It was that big. It's still big, but I don't think it's quite as big. These wetland parks, and I'm again going to tell you where else you can find them, provide recreational opportunities for the local residents, as this one does, but also they clean water, they prevent downstream flooding, and enhance biodiversity. All those things are known in my business as ecosystem services. There are a few wetland parks of note in the USA. I'll mention one or two. How many have been to the Wakota-Hatchie wetland on the East Coast? A couple of you. You go there and you say, oh my God. They have hundreds of thousands of people visiting that wetland in Delray Beach, Florida. There's also an adjacent wetland called the Green K wetlands. So combined, they get hundreds of thousands of people going through there. It's so many people, they had to rebuild their parking lot 10 times. And they are, though at least the one wetland is receiving wastewater from the city of Delray Beach. And the birds don't mind that, and they love it because it's a very nutrient-rich system. Some of the other sites are the Olentangy wetlands in Ohio, and if you're from Chicago, there was an area called the Des Plaines River wetlands in suburban Lake County near Chicago. And there are others in the U.S. But I do want to make a note of this because we've traveled all around the world talking wetlands. China has gone mad about wetland parks, and they call them wetland parks. It is on record that China alone has more than 900 wetland parks. Every city, Lee tells me, my assistant, every city of any size has a wetland park that the people are very proud of. There are major recreational opportunities, just as this one is here, but they also help clean up China's water pollution of downstream lakes and rivers. I've visited a countless number of these wetland parks, and all have a very modern interpretation centers. They build buildings to describe wetlands at these parks, and to learn about values of wetlands. Usually the displays are in Chinese and English, and Chinese really understand wetlands, and there's 900 of them in China. Anyhow, we're very happy to show you this site and what we're doing. My graduate students and I will lead tours of Freedom Park wetlands, especially showing how these wetlands are cleaning up urban runoff from Naples, helping to protect downstream Gordon River and Naples Bay from awful algal blooms that have been news elsewhere in South Florida this past summer. And maybe, just maybe, Naples Bay was not in the news this past summer because of Freedom Park. That would be hard for me to prove, but I think maybe that is true. Finally, I would like to alert you to an opportunity, and my graduate students have a poster here to show you of how, if you could help us to clean up water pollution in the Everglades, Lake Okeechobee, our coastlines, and quite frankly, all over eastern United States. We are in the business of constructing these simple mesocosm wetlands. Mesocosm essentially means little wetland. They're not more than a couple square feet in size, but we make many of them so we get replication and good scientific results. And we are testing a hypothesis about cleaning up water. That's what it's all about. We've raised almost $14,000 towards this goal. I've just been pestering all my friends, basically. And we need about $20,000 to construct these mesocosms. The sketch on the top is sort of what we want to build, and the photograph in the bottom is one under construction in Ohio. In fact, it's a site in central Ohio called Buckeye Lake, and it's almost completed now. We wanted to get that in before the bad weather hit, so we decided to put the Ohio one in first, and then we take a little bit more time. We don't have to worry about winter down here, right? So the $20,000 would be for the supplies, a plumber. We need a plumber to put these in, believe it or not, and a carpenter, excavators, and so on. We want to test hypotheses about wetlands cleaning up the water. That's part of the story, and that's what the wetlands do here. But also how to recycle those retained fertilizers back into society, back into agriculture and horticulture, thereby cutting down the need for manufacture of more fertilizers. We think we have the answer, but we won't know until we test it routinely around the eastern United States. So first two sites are Ohio and Florida, but we're talking to people in Long Island Sound up in New York area. We're talking to people in Indiana. We'll take this wherever somebody gives me $20,000, and then we'll use our graduate students. We'll use our graduate students. You know, we might need a little more for up north because we need airfare, but we'll use our graduate students collaborating with local universities to test these systems. So that's sort of our idea of what we'd like some support. I have a team of distinguished scientists from Florida, Ohio, and Indiana working with me on this project. And we already have created this one site shown in construction at Buckeye Lake in Columbus. These studies could be game changers. I'm not saying we're going to absolutely do it, but sometimes when you have an idea and you think it's going to work, you test it, and if it does, it could be a game changer. about stopping phosphorus and nitrogen from polluting our rivers, lakes, and streams, and doing it in a way that would be compatible with agriculture and other commercial uses of the landscape. If I gave away my whole secret, you guys would all run off and patent it. But it is a simple process, and we hope to test it. I would especially like to credit Collier County and the Conservation Collier for their foresight in creating this wonderful wetland park and managing it so well, and for providing support and monitoring for me and our students to do research and monitoring here. Again, welcome to Freedom Park, and thanks for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Mitch. One thing I'll tell you, when we're in administration and project management, I know our consulting engineers are here, and project managers and administrators. It doesn't happen without influence and leadership and folks that actually push the button to make the vote to spend the money on these projects. And you're going to hear from some of these leaders that actually put their money where their mouth is in terms of committing themselves through their dedication and leadership and being elected in county and city government, and board members on local taxing districts that manage these projects that actually funded them. So keep in mind, those folks make the decisions to get these projects done, and we'd like to hear from them now, because without their support, the folks in administration, project management wouldn't have anything to do. So first, I'd like to call Commissioner Penny Taylor up, if you could. Thank you.
Well,
That's an introduction right
on
there.
that note,
That's quite an introduction.
wow. Well, when I listened to Dr. Mitch, I realized I'm not in Kansas anymore. Remember, it was probably, 50, 60 years ago that a well-meaning company decided that they wanted to dry up the wetlands in Collier County, and they dropped Melaleuca seeds from plains. It kind of worked. But look at the problems it's caused. And to sit here today and listen to, and to see you here, that there are important institutions, Gulf Coast University, Collier County, Mosquito Control, South Florida Water Management, that have spent considerable money to create a park to preserve wetlands. And now we learn that these wetlands are not only beautiful to look at, and when you see it, we have wetlands that might serve a public purpose. It is so exciting to be alive right now. It's so exciting to be in Collier County. I really believe that water is our new oil, and that we do have to preserve it. Jerry Kurtz said that it's a record. He got a call for a lake flooding, and only 3 weeks later, he got a call for a lake that was too low, because now we have our dry season. Here today, gone tomorrow. But when you have projects like this and you have leadership, it's going to change everything. But we all have to contribute to it. It's not, my predecessor was the one who voted on this. I am reaping the benefits of this extraordinary park, which is in my district. But we all need to learn about water and how important it is and what a finite resource it is. And as we go forward, we have so much to be proud of, because I can tell you the leadership in Collier County is on the cutting edge of this. And we, and I especially, will support this going forward. Because without water, we don't have anything. We don't have life, we don't have a future, and we don't have a county for our children. So we're not dropping Melaleuca seeds from plains today. We're building wetland parks, and I hope we have some more here. Thank you.
Now I'll ask Mr. David Farmer, Big Cypress Basin Board member, to speak. And remember when I talked about collaboration and systems? You'll get to hear from David a little bit about the great collaboration we have with the basin.
Thank you, Nick. Good morning, everyone.
I've had the great and distinctive pleasure of serving on the Big Cypress Basin Board for 6 years. And those of you that are not familiar with the basin, it's a small fragment of the South Florida Water Management District, which encompasses, I believe, 15 counties in South Florida. So I'm continuously impressed by the great things that can be done when we as government come together at no additional cost to the taxpayer to improve the quality of life with infrastructure improvements and changes such as Freedom Park here today. I'm an engineer, and by nature I can't talk without talking about some numbers, so forgive me for this next part. But together with the county, we manage, that would be Travis's department, Road and Bridge, we manage almost 400 miles of canals and 93 major water control structures, one of which is just across the street here. We also work closely with the city of Naples to assist in improvements to stormwater systems and alleviate flooding. Over the last 5 years, we've contributed $4.8 million of your local tax dollars to assistance in partnerships with both the city and the county for stormwater improvements. On top of that, we've also been partnering with the city and the county for alternative water supply projects in the tune of $4.1 million over the last 5 years. If you're not familiar with alternative water supply, this is sort of a newfangled idea over the last 10 or 15 years where we drill wells that are in the millions of dollars and we inject billions of gallons of water during the rainy season deep down into the earth and create what they call sort of a bubble balloon, and then in the dry season we can pull that water back out to assist with either drinking water or irrigation efforts, thereby saving our precious aquifers by this man-made effort. Anyway, I'm very excited about these things. So if you add it all up, today I'm very proud to say that our basins contributed $12.3 million to local tax dollars to local projects. Some of my thunder got stolen, so I got to skip those points. That's bound to happen, right? So let me end with this, and I've got these written down because I want to make sure I get all the points here. But improved water quality isn't just left up to the Big Cypress Basin or the city or the county. You know, we're a village. It takes all of us to watch out for water quality. And most of it is pretty simple. Reduce the runoff on your property by building rain gardens if you're able to. Reduce fertilizer use. If you have contractors putting down fertilizer, talk to them. Make sure that they're using the minimal amount necessary, because every piece of fertilizer that's put into the ground that isn't used by the vegetation is washed out into Naples Bay, and we need to minimize that and reduce it as much as possible. Don't let your landscaper or don't yourself blow grass clippings into the catch basins and water management structures. It just clogs the system up and can cause problems for your upstream and downstream neighbors. Don't put anything into a storm drain at all that goes directly to our bays. Dilution is not the solution in this case. Every little bit counts. Together, the county, the city, we as a team, and every citizen, were able to tackle the most pressing water quality issues and improve the quality of life for our area residents and visitors. On behalf of the Basin Board, we congratulate those that worked on this impressive project to make this a reality, and thank FGCU for your participation in the success of this park. Thank you.
Well said, David. I'd like to call up Councilwoman Linda Pennyman, and I'll tell you, she's developing a partnership with Commissioner Taylor, and they've asked us several times to talk about integrated stormwater, and I think she's definitely passionate and a big supporter, so thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And David, if I have anything to say about it, you're going to hear a lot more from the city going forward, that's for darn sure. How I wish that policy flew as easily as water seems to flow. Every now and then I need a little help with a little policy in the city, that's for darn sure. I'm certainly not an expert here today. I'm looking at all the friendly faces out there that have been working with water, fighting for water for years and years and years. And you know, I'm an apostle, but I'm also a fighter. So, you know, I consider myself to be among some of the ranks out there of all of us that are trying all the time, it seems, to get the word out there that without good water quality, we've got really nothing. So I've gone off the grid here, so I'll get back to what I had my remarks that I've got. But anyway, thank you for having me today. This is not only a great pleasure for me, but I would have been here whether you'd asked me to speak or not, because I am truly passionate about water. More importantly, I'm overjoyed at having the opportunity to celebrate this water quality celebration and this historic partnership between FGCU and Collier County. It was just about time we did this. The original watershed of swamps, marshes, and sloughs that once supported the natural ecosystem that existed is now largely, as we all know, urban and suburban landscape. The Conservancy of Southwest Florida, in a recent study that they did, determined that since 1950, Naples Bay, which is of course the thing that's of utmost interest to me, that has lost 90% of its seagrasses, 80% of its oyster reefs, and 70% of its mangrove fringe. All of this, of course, due to pollutants from the Gordon River and from stormwater, carrying off excess runoff, carrying nutrients, bacteria, and heavy metals. Heretofore, cleaning up Naples Bay has proven to be almost Sisyphean. But we're here today with renewed spirits and hopes that through this partnership of FGCU and Collier County, that the grasses will emerge again, giving rise to larger manatee populations and greater water quality. The oysters will begin to proliferate again, and thousands, and continue to pump their 50 gallons of water a day. And we no longer need to fear that bacteria will prosper and grow in a much too rich environment. Congratulations and profound thanks to the county and FGCU for forming this partnership. I have great hopes that this is exactly what needed to happen at this particular time. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Well said. I'd like to call up the chairman of Collier Soil and Water, Duke Vasey. And if you know anybody about influencers or people who are very passionate, Duke is certainly one of them. Sir, if you can get in front. All right.
Well, I really have looked forward to this day for a long time. In fact, in 1994, when we were starting to look at the possibility of a university here, nearby, I started my fax machine going to all the Corps of Engineers folks that I knew. And the reason I started the fax machine is because you need a permit. And if you want to talk about an onerous process, getting a permit is an onerous process. But if you look at the staff that's here, and you look at the effort that the county has put into it, and you look at the energy that's being expended, what we see today is an understanding that water quality is an important issue. But many of you have never actually been in the presence of a world-renowned water, actually a wetlands expert, and we have several of them. We have Dr. Yee and we have Dr. Bill Mitch. And I got a version of my wetlands book, an older version, signed by Dr. Mitch. But then he told me, he said, yeah, okay, I'll sign it. But you know, there have been 4 versions since then. This is not a static system. And when Dr. Mitch tells you that we can use mesocosms to actually clean up dirt, restore dirt, take dirt, put it back out on our fields, not use fertilizers with such high levels of nutrients in them, and we can actually restore what we've taken away for years just by neglect and just plain misunderstanding. Yes, Dr. Bradshaw asked me one time what he could do. I said, I need a replacement fax machine. He said, I've already gone through 6 of them myself. Dr. Gregson, when I talk to him frequently, and these are the educators that are here in town. And what we have is we have a wonderful opportunity for our students. We have a wonderful environment. We have a natural environment. We don't have to create anything, it's here. And as the students are encouraged to come to the wetlands, to go to Cotahatchee, to visit, to think about the ponds, I can be considered the mechanic. Everybody in Roads and Grounds knows they'll find me in some ditch looking at some hole that they've created, wondering why it's there. Asking the hotshots, okay, show me your chemical label. I want to know why you're killing this stuff when it happens to serve as some biotic for some creature. Why are we trying to kill the things that nature wants to eat that benefit us? We've got a lot of educating to do. And one of the things that I really like doing, I've worked with the Boy Scout troop trying to get more young men and women merit badges so that they do understand the importance and the significance of where we live. I'm a transplant. If you look back and you find out how long I was here, 55 is when I started. When I got here, you could still land your airplane on the beach. The guy wanted to know if you needed gas. And the reason he asked that question was they had it at Fort Myers, so he had to wait 3 days. Now guess where all the people I know came? Anybody who gets 3 days waiting for gas, that's a legitimate reason for staying here. There's no fuel to get out. Well, since that time, what we're seeing in the paper, we're seeing beaches being eroded away because of man-made functions. We have got to reduce the impervious structures. We've got to start thinking about more pervious structures. We've got to be thinking about smart, natural building. And if you tell me that we can bring back native Florida, I'm going to say stop. You just don't understand how things progress. Because if you think you can bring back native Florida, then you're going to be 6 years old again. And that's not going to happen. So let's understand what we have. Let's understand how we can influence water quality. Let's understand how we can keep air quality. Let's understand how we can use these facilities for recreation. And believe me, Barry and his crew work diligently on making recreational activities available. And water is probably one of the first recreational activities we should all have. When I pull into the parking lot, I should see canoes and kayaks and balloons on top of every one of those cars. Really, you need to recognize what a resource we have. You need to ask your neighbors, come on out, go for a boat ride with me, understand the environment. And Dr. Mitch, I'm in for the mesocosms, and what I want is I want to influence everyone here to get involved with the mesocosms, because this program will be successful. This program will actually replace fertilizer, and what we need to do is start moving now. Thanks very much.
I said systems thinking and collaboration. I left out compassion and passion. Thanks, dude. So you heard 3 things today, and those are the 3 things you heard. So please, this is the fun part. I want to ask everybody who's worked on design, project management, day-to-day management, who's here from the university, the county engineers, raise your hand because there's a lot of people in the audience. Please, come on. Those are all the folks that have touched this project over time. So thank them. Now you get the fun part, which is to stop listening to us administrative type folks and the elected officials and enjoy a little bit of a tour. We have Dr. Mitch and his team. Dr. Mitch, where are you again? Right there. Lauren Griffiths. Raise your hand in the back. Okay. And Taylor Nesbitt. They're going to give you the opportunity to take a tour and hear from them about what's in this water quality park and what's going to happen. So thank you for coming today. Enjoy the park. It's a beautiful day. And thank everybody here who's worked on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Could you tell them that they'll give the tour now and I'll give them 15 minutes?
Sure. The doctor asked me, said, these guys will give the tour now, and he'll wait about 15 minutes in case you have questions. You can talk to him, and then he will give a follow-up tour afterwards. Thank you.